I have curious questions, but if there's anything that you're like, oh no, absolutely not here, especially, feel free to not answer. But are you guys also doing like pumping so that you'll also be doing like feeds?
So yes, there is pumping involved, and we're also, we're pumping and feeding directly, and even like throwing in some extra, right?
Hmm.
Which there's ways you can do. There's like things you can grab a little tube and get a little extra in there while the feeding is occurring. And the Yeah, the thought is that like, oh, okay, well, if there's a step or if there's a feed that can just be all dad, for example,
Hmm.
then that's a great opportunity to have a big nap, big recoup and
Yeah,
everything.
absolutely.
But there's downsides to that, which are the regular scheduled production needs to occur, and all the benefits of the latch for this time, and not missing a thing, and also introducing a
Listen,
bottle.
mom, even though you want to nap
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
you you still have to pump on the same fucking
So
schedule.
there's a
So
whole thing with that, and then 3 a.m. is the best time for that, which is also when you might want to do that skip, but it's actually when you should pump the most. And then also there's the part where it's like, and there's different methods you can go like, like you can go spoon, you can go cup, you can do all these different things to get the actual milk into the baby. But if you go
I
with
just give him a bottle.
But if you give them the bottle with the nursing at the same time, the bottle has a nipple on it that's too easy compared to the actual nipple. So then they get trained to suck at the wrong force.
I mean, that can happen,
and
but
that,
like, hey, so
but this is what we're kind of going through right now. Is essentially you're like trying to figure that out, right? Because if
so
you train the wrong force of sucking, and there's nipples that have a size that's more forceful.
mhm.
But depending on whether baby is like in a situation where you're like, yo, baby needs more milk right now, versus like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
she's good, she can work on it a little bit. You're not sure about like yeah, that's basically it. It's just like, if you have a baby that's like, oh, you know what, this nipple's great. In fact, on the bottle, I'm just gonna go with the bottle effort. Then suddenly the real nipple starts being a bigger problem for baby.
Mhm.
So you got to be
Well,
careful
see,
with how
the
you battle that.
kicker is that real nipple is attached to mom,
Yep, yep.
which they like.
Yes,
Um,
but it's the effort. That's
so
yeah.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. You're completely right. However, being completely right is not actually as important as it usually
Yep,
is,
yep.
because you are dealing with a violently uncooperative subject.
Yes. Yes. No, being
So
sane is more important than being right.
so
And
like
yep.
you're juggling, will this even work at all?
Mm-hmm.
How hard is it going to be to get to work? And also, babies need parents that are not ready to jump out windows.
And that's the big one, right? Like of all the pros and cons on each column of like, yes, introducing the bottle and fucking up this potentially, or getting the ideal amount of pumping going and having the right amount of suckle and and nursing time and all the oxytocin in the world and so on. And then there's, am I about to just crash the fuck out, right? Am I about to crash out forever? And
Now,
if you are, then you know what? It's time to just do the easier solution at that point. Absolutely.
luckily, you guys are in this early period. You guys are just all like working together as a team, which enables you the best tip you can possibly do for young children, which is, hey, honey, I'm about to freak the fuck out. Can you hold this kid for a second? I need to go outside.
Yep. 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 Fully aware
I'm
of
about
that.
to lose my shit. I need to leave the room. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I as you just described, new emotions, right? The new emotion that you get from dad's making everything okay is immediately complemented with the dark flipped reverse arcana of itself, which is dad cannot make anything okay right now. Dad is the worst and needs to stop
Not
existing.
only is dad actively useless, also, I want him out of my face.
So I'm that's where click hello, we're live. That's where I am right now.
The highest highs I've ever had in my life with the lowest lows 10 minutes later.
It's brutal. It's so insanely brutal. I'm laughing, but I want to die. And it's and that's currently it, you know? And I'm like, okay, tell yourself all the idioms you need to, keep it all in mind. And, it's like, hey, you know what? We had those moments where it's like, yeah, this is pretty rough, but don't worry about it. It'll change soon. And then it's like, oh, hey, cool, we're getting the hang of this. This is going well. Yeah? Well, guess what? It'll change soon. So just don't feel anything or feel all the things. I don't know.
There's a couple things going on there because I'm in the same place as you are, just a little bit ahead, just a tiny bit, right? And we share the same profession, so like we're as close as it can get in terms of like family, like proximity, is all that shit. The problem is that like, yeah, you get swaddling. Swaddling, unswaddling, diaper change, back into the swaddle, rock. You're gonna get super good at that.
Okay, so
and then the swaddle period will be over. So as soon as you get super, you must learn the new skill.
Okay, you're back.
Oh yeah, I'm back.
Okay. But yes, the new skills will show up. Now here's the thing too. As somebody who has gotten, I'm gonna pat myself on the back and say I have now handled various volumes of mess. Right?
Yeah.
I have done the big black tar. The myconium, right?
The myconium's not
right.
bad.
And then I've also gotten your yellow and brown peppered, all the mess, all of it, right? And I've seen the big fucking and the small ones and the easy. I've gotten pretty all right at changing, right, and taking care of the changing situation. So that's cool. Then following that change and going into like that first one was horrible, by the way. It was such a nightmare. I was like, oh my god, it looks so much easier on the video I watched. What the fuck, oh god, oh please. And a nurse kind of stepped in and was like, here's how you know.
This is a question. Are you the kind of guy who's like squeamish about like poop?
I mean, I don't like it, but in this case, it doesn't matter. As we recently covered in the last couple of weeks, it doesn't matter. You have to do it. You're doing it. How I feel about it doesn't matter.
But like for the context of the remainder of the conversation, because I'm the kind of person, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Like I'm like, that's poop.
Okay. Well, okay. For me, at no point so far have I at one point I've gotten some on my like hand a bit, but I've managed to be very good at not getting anything on anything except for the changing station itself and her. In fact, and like once I got it on a new diaper, and then it was like, fuck, there it goes, right?
Dude,
that's gonna right.
That happened to me yesterday, and I was like, man, just throw that new diaper in the trash.
Exactly.
Come on.
Especially when you're putting it on and you're like, oh, here comes more, and you're like, oh my god, shield. Like you're fucking
protect me. Yeah. Huggies, please.
Grabbing the Huggies and doing a faultless defense with it again. You know what I mean? Like, use all that tension to just shield it down. And again, I want to take a moment to quadruple emphasize the success of the tech, which is Diaper Genie. Thank you very much. Right?
Oh man, I don't know how it works, but it works.
Right, and then with the seal, air seal, so you put the diapers in the thing that keeps it closed as best as possible. 2 carbon filters that they, the thing we have in taping them to the bottom and taping one to the top of the lid and taping one to the bottom, or putting it underneath the bag. And then using a doggy bag as well as a sealer. That is all working out really well. So that's great. As somebody who's gotten pretty all right with that so far, I have so many opinions about newborn like outfits now that it's crazy. In putting on like
I have my one opinion. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah.
Does this have buttons on it? How about you go kill yourself?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Die. Okay, if you put buttons on the baby's newborn outfit, just end it. Just leave this earth. Just get on a ship and leave forever. Okay, next. If you don't do the thing where one of the zips goes all the way down to the baby's ankle on one side, leave. Off. I don't want you on planet Earth anymore. I need you gone. Okay, next, and I would say biggest, because we can work around those. If you decide to make the sleeves really, really tight and elasticy for the style of the thing and make it impossible to pull the baby's hand out or see whether all fingers are protruding, because sometimes you're opening it up and you get like 3 of the fingers out, but the pinky's there and you don't want to pull up and hurt baby. What the fuck are you doing? Quit your job and change professions.
Putting the clothes on is such like a trap of an experience, because the first time they're all like goo goo gaga and they're just like blah 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 moving, and you're like, oh man, this is gonna be so much easier when they're older. But then before they so my little guy, like when I put his shirt on, I go push and he puts his arms through. And he goes, yeah,
okay.
Right. But right before that is I fucking hate putting my shirt on. Get it off me. Like that part sucks.
And like at one point I thought I had a trick, because like she's doing the thing where, and it's awesome, where like from literally seconds on Earth, you put a finger right into the hand and then right?
Yeah, they do the reflex.
Feel that reflex grip and you're like, yeah, let's go. And so I'd open up the sleeve, put my hand in and get the grip going, and then pull the grip finger out, right? And I was like, okay, we got some tech going. And then we switched to one of the onesies where doing that, it was still too tight to pull out her hand. There wasn't enough room for her newborn hand to come. And I'm just like, I want to burn this thing. It's crazy that you shipped this product.
Would you like a peach saliva patented baby clothes tech?
Oh, was that what just went by there?
No, yeah. Paige came up with this idea, and it saved us a lot of trouble. You have to be willing to destroy your baby clothes, though.
Okay.
Every single thing, every single time, you're like, oh my god, they don't like the feet or the arms. Just get a pair of scissors and cut the fucking legs and arms off. As
long as the fabric doesn't bleed out. Right, because sometimes I've cut sleeves off my shirts and stuff, and sometimes certain types of cotton or fabric will like have excess that doesn't cut clean. So as long as it can be removed cleanly, then that's a good solution.
My little guy, he those onesies that like end in like the onesie becomes a sock.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he hates that shit. Hates it. So we had like 3 or 4 of those that were just like, well, all the feet are gone.
Okay.
Just all the feet are gone because he wants his toes out.
Okay. Well, because one of the ones that we put on yesterday, like I didn't notice it, but like the shoes, the little sock on it was actually like designed to be almost like little ballerina shoes. I was like, oh, that looks cool. So I was like, okay, well, that works for that one. I will accept your subpar buttoning solution in exchange for these cute little boot shoes.
So it's I want to go into something because it's one of these things like it's the nature for me anyway, but it feels like the nature of a lot of people, you included, where you have the baby and you just start like grousing and griping, right? And you're commiserating over all the stuff that's like really hard. And you get people that are either younger or they don't have kids or they chose not to have kids, and they're like, I don't fucking get it. These guys sound miserable. But it's also like the most personally fulfilled I've ever felt doing anything in my entire life by a massive order of magnitude. And my relationship with my wife went from like great to like, oh my God, we're like gods on the earth making life.
Soulmates.
We're oh my, and we're like working together so well, and we have this important thing that we're doing together, and it's so important.
That's a pretty good reason. Yeah.
But yeah, I could have gone for a little bit more sleep today.
That would have been all right. Yeah. Yeah. Tell you what, man, you know, I'll let you know. We're here. We're going through it, you know.
I'm going to tell you right now, when you do go back to streaming, dude, your streams are going to be awesome. Because you're going to just be a fucking stupid rambling mess, and it's going to be great.
Well,
you got to use that energy.
Well, okay. The thing I already feel as I'm doing this right now, the first professional thing that I've done since that's happened is like, I knew that, hey, I took this break beforehand to get everything ready because you're making room for a new priority on top of all the other things in life. And what I realized upon clicking fucking the stream button today is that that priority space is actually like 50 priority spaces. And, this is now priority 51. This is not priority 2, 3, or 5. This is 51.
So I don't know.
It's crazy how big that power gap is.
But I like for the first couple of months, I had another new emotion, which I'd never felt before in my life, which is, did you know that if you can't see your wife or child right now,
they're in danger.
Your eyes,
they're in danger.
They're falling down the stairs into the furnace. Did you know that? That if you're not actually looking at them right now, they've both wandered out into the street in heavy traffic.
Fortunately, as you've seen our place, this is open concept, so they're right fucking there.
Oh yeah, you'd hear it. You'd hear help.
Yeah,
and you'd be like, oh, yeah, I gotta go.
And that'd be an awkward live stream fails moment. As you hear me tumbling down the stairs, you know. But yes, absolutely, there is that feeling. There's also all the baby monitor tech you can get and set up, and you know, all the different settings on that to make sure that you see and hear every sound and log it and get as paranoid as you need to be. Just embrace it. There's a product for everyone's level of paranoia.
I don't want to hear
no matter how unhealthy.
Breathing. I want to hear the rattle on the exhale.
Right.
Like, I can hear them breathing. No, I want to hear
It's kind of interesting to watch as like the camera, the crib, the light thing next to it all have their white noise machines built in, and at some points like a cry goes off and all the machines are simultaneously going and you're like, oh, okay, everyone's setting needs to shut the fuck up. All of these apps on my phone need to shut the fuck up. Of which there are now many, because everyone knows the grift is, oh, you got a newborn? You don't have time to make decisions. Pay me that $70 to track all the things you need tracked. You know?
It is so the wild is insane. When you're like, okay, we have you in the robot bassinet that soothes you. We have the cameras and the microphones set up.
You're trapped.
In your completely empty sleeping area where you've been swaddled into a custom swaddle that hooks into the wall. Meanwhile, I was in a hand-me-down crib in the hallway of my parents' apartment with like 25 fucking stuffed animals in there, trying not to choke on my smoke asthma.
Exactly.
And it's like, wow, yeah.
No, there is a part of this. There is a part of a lot of this where I just think back and I go, hold on a minute, man. Like, we came from situations where I guess they figured it out and we're here, but like in terms of where we slept and the size and what they had resource wise and it was so much worse off. So you're like, it's fine. It's fine.
Came
Baby
from a situation
will adapt, you know,
in which my mother told me, oh yeah, babies are fine. Don't worry too much about them, but they die all the time and no one knows why. That was the actual, it's like, oh, babies are easy to take care of, but sometimes they die and you just never know why. And like, this seems like a very awful juxtaposition, Mom.
Okay.
It seems really bad.
Okay. So these conversations are kind of fucked because we used to have them like once a year or so. And now the speed at which it's like, okay, so grandma comes over and we're talking and she's like, okay, so, you know, or like what someone, a family gives us like a baby blanket, you know, and it's like, oh yeah, like you can put that in the crib to keep them warm, and it's
No,
just like you're like,
no, I'm
actually,
not
right,
going to do that.
right, and
Nope.
but it's beautiful. It's very cute, very
No, I
beautiful,
will
but there's
swaddle
not
them and put this on them when
right,
they are swaddled, and they
you
will
know.
be cute as a button.
Exactly. And then so you get the things about like you're like little things coming up where it's like, it's like, oh yeah, so how is she sleeping? Are you sleeping with her like on her stomach or you know whatever and stuff? And then
Are
it's
you
like
co-sleeping at 1 week
yeah,
old?
and and we're like, actually that's a terrible idea and that's a huge link to SIDS and we don't do that because we know better now. And she's like, oh well, no, I mean we were doing that and things were fun.
I'm going to take this as an attack on my parenting skills.
Because we did it and
Is
it
what
was
I'm gonna
fine,
do.
and I'm like, and that was 40 years ago. Like and then the constant amount of like, actually, there's science and tech, and here's studies. I can show you the studies if you'd like to see them.
Would you?
And there's always a response that's either, oh well, no, we figured it out and it was fine, or the one I'm liking now because it's happened so often is, wow, boy, y'all have everything these days. We didn't have any of that, you know. We just figured it out.
Do you want? I don't know if you're going to encounter this, but I encountered it, and it's a trip. It's like it's part. So part. By the way, you probably feel much more like an adult now. I noticed about a year in that I felt like a genuinely more mature, put together man.
Okay.
Like a man.
Okay.
And you're starting that process, and good for you. And part of that process is the final leap away from your parents, because I experienced talking to my mom about this kind of thing. And she's like, wow, well, we did our best. That's we just tried to do the best with what we knew then. And my brain went, is that true? And on a couple of things, I looked it up and I was like, it's not. It's not true. You actually did know better in 1986.
But hold on. Was the fact hidden behind a book in a library down the street, or was it accessible?
On the news.
Oh, okay. Because there's a part of that too where it's like the information was out there if you wanted to go look for it, but why do that? Because the people at church are kind of just give you their anecdotes, and those
my personal favor is like, well, we didn't know smoking was bad for people that weren't smoking back then. And I'm like, really?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Do you even believe that right now?
And like, or even just when it comes to things, because again, as the grift begins, you're like, okay, so the goal here is to, do all the breast milk we can and to supplement, and hey, look, colostrum, we pumped, we got some frozen, that's great. But you never know when you'll need some formula. Something might come up. We might be in a situation.
Oh, yeah, our guy got a couple. He showed up really early.
Yes, exactly.
Our guy showed up way too early. Like the milk had.
So I'm just like, so I'm going to get some formula to just be, to have it there. And it's like, okay, well, here we go. Let's begin the process of getting into. I'm sure this is a grift too, as I look at the aisle and checking the back of everything. And then I got something and I was like, you know what? No, this is fine. This is okay. This seems all right. And then thankfully a nurse confirmed. She's like, yeah, they're fine. It's not, you don't have to worry about that too much.
No, the grift is that formula fucking stinks.
Oh, does it?
That's the grift.
Oh.
It reeks.
Okay. Well, no wonder it's like, hey, after you open it, throw it out 24 hours later, no matter what happens, there's a timer on that shit the moment you crack it. But as I got it and I was looking and it's like, okay, so what's good for a kid? And it's like, oh, well, the ones based on milk, like cow milk, are shown to have these benefits and these are good things. So like overall, you can go with different kinds, but the cow milk basis is pretty all well accepted as pretty dope formula that you're going to get for your kid. Okay, cool. And then now cut to me explaining that. And my mom's like, cow milk? And I'm like, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. I don't know what soybean health-based woo-woo shit you got going on here with what you think's going to apply, but we're not doing this right now. Not when we have the numbers. When I have the numbers and I show you the numbers, you have to stop.
like for Paige and I, if we had to fall back on formula, we went for it was Enfamil A plus NeuroPro formula.
That's
and
exactly what I got.
The reason why is really simple. It's the formula a nurse handed to me in the fucking hospital when the boy was born.
Well, there you go.
And went, use this one. It's good for babies.
There you go. That's not what I was handed, but it's the one I got regardless. And it was like, hey, great little container. If you don't use all of it, toss that. Perfect. Ideal. Yeah, man. That level of just like I already had a woo-woo detector, and like now it is sharpened to it has been folded 1,000 times. Okay, you have to understand. Just the other day we were discussing as we were meeting different professionals and doctors and nurses and stuff, right? And for the most part, especially when you're going off through multiple shifts, you're meeting different people, and like some of them that are like there for the long haul are going to be off their shift. A lot
of people in a really short time.
And some of them are great and some of them are not, and that's just going to be the way it goes, because this is the profession, and a lot of people are really want to help take care of a lot of other people, but they've also got a lot of shit going on in their lives, and some people are like natural born incredible caretakers, and other people are like they've seen too much and they're just kind of turning it all off inside a little bit.
Dude, we ran into a lactation lady, like a lactation specialist. Yeah. And after she left, I was like, Paige, was that lady a bitch? She's like, I think she was like a massive bitch. And then we asked one of the nurses, and they're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. She's mean.
So we had one or two of those, right? We had one lady where it's like that one receptionist at the OBG clinic that we are going to. It's like, oh God, if we end up with her, fuck it, hang up and call back, right? Like, just don't even proceed. Do not pass go. Just hang up and try the numbers again, right? And don't give it. And hopefully she doesn't know it was you that called a minute ago, but. And then now sharpening that woo detector, as I was saying, right? Because I've got a sharp ear to listen to the sound of crunch. If I hear a leaf being crunched in the forest a mile away, I'm gonna fucking perk up and go like, hold on a minute, lady. Hold on a minute. Are you crunchy? Are you a little crunchy? Because we had one who was super nice, awesome, really great person, and like very familiar, and everything's going really, really well. And deep into the conversation about like how things are going and what's going on, there's a moment of like, oh, one thing I'd consider is like really, there's little hints of like, oh yeah, like consider like an osteopathy. Have you looked into that? That's something that's really cool. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm like, I've heard a thing about that before. And she's like, yeah, and she's talking about how great it is and everything. I'm like, okay, cool. And then we get out of there, and then I'm just like, yo, Punch Mom, did you catch it? And she's like, right? And it's like, this is it. There are things that it's proven to work for, but it is a pseudoscience. It is not a fully developed thing that is 100% locked down certain, right?
Hey, Woolie, I know you guys probably have everything planned out, but just in case, have you heard of this complete bullshit I'm about to tell you?
And here
that is based off nothing.
Oh man.
I'm just trying to do what's best for you guys and offer you options.
And here's what I feel like I've learned too as well. Right? I have a theory. It's the crunch pipeline, because the crunch pipeline, not in terms of working in video games, mind you, but in terms of woo-woo parental shit, right? Crunchy moms is the saying. If anyone's unfamiliar, what this means is people who think that holding your baby up to the crystals and the earth and the sunlight will heal them instead of taking them to a doctor.
Did we show you the crystals when you were here?
No, but
okay, because because we have crystals in the house.
Okay, all right.
That were gifted to us by a very sweet. We were having burgers. And a sweet old lady came over and went, oh, what a sweet baby. Here, this will protect him. And just handed Paige like a big fat piece of quartz.
Okay, incredible. Yeah, right? Exactly that. And as I previously discussed earlier in a previous episode, when it comes to the process of pregnancy, if mom is somebody who for whatever fucking reason, gets calm by holding the crystal, then give mom the crystal then, right? Because
Absolutely.
the damage is already done.
Good vibes only.
You can't stop now. What is reality going to do for you at that point, right?
This was a conversation 25 minutes ago.
Yeah.
that ship has sailed, sir.
Okay, but what I've realized about the treadmill, right, about this path we go down, right, the pipeline, is that the person that leads you there is always like 80% solid, 20% crunch, just a little hint of it, right? Like said person who was great, fun, great advice, everything was awesome, and then you get a little hint of like, that's not proven and I know it, but we're gonna move past that point of this conversation, it's all good, right? And then a little bit of like, as we're closing it out, a little bit of a like, you know, there's a lot of stuff with the medicalization of things that has just kind of lost touch with nature, and you're like, no, I know what you mean. Yeah. Back when, you know, babies were born in dirty pits and mom and baby had a 50-50 shot.
30% of them didn't make it.
You know, and when we had to just decide which one are we cutting open and which one are we saving, you know, that was,
Wooly,
you know, and
I need you to consider what I'm about to tell you. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
But what about the toxins?
Oh boy, right. Well, the first layer is never going to talk about the toxins because they're coming at you extremely reasonable, and they've got that little hint of it. It might be 90-10, it might be 80-20, but I'm gonna cut it off at 80-20 max, right? Little hints of crunch in what they're saying, nothing too much, and for the most part, everyone's different. So you might have somebody who came from a situation where they're like, yeah, look, I don't know.
No one's ever gonna perfectly align with anybody.
Right.
You have to be aware of that.
And believe it or not, right, you can go back and look at your Penn and Teller bullshit episodes, but it's like, there's stuff out there where you're like, you know, when it comes to acupuncture, we're not even really sure. It kind of does work sometimes.
No,
it's weird.
It's
weird.
That's been conclusively proven. It was a statistical error in the original reading of those studies from the 90s.
So wait, hold on. The meta-analysis that showed that there was some like some weird, inconclusive, but beneficial results. You're saying
no, people went over
back on
the
that
same data again
Let's
about
go.
10 years ago. Yeah, and acupuncture's no.
Yeah, science. Let's fucking go. I'm getting hyped. That's awesome. I love that. That's bullshit. That's super cool. Fuck that shit.
Placebo can be so strong it can screw up your experimental controls.
Oh, wow. That's great. Every time anyways, because that was one of those ones where they're like, it was in the category of, oh, there's a whole lot of bullshit here, and then now they're like, yeah, I don't know, we saw some stuff that seemed to, right, and like, oh, like, you know, placebo, power of prayer, etc. That's not the point. The point is that the person then will refer you to a person, and let's say you go see, I don't know, that osteopath who's like, hey, I know I'm a specialist in this, and you talk to them, and they're gonna be like 60-40, right? And the 60-40 person is a bit more brazen about what they're talking about. But let's say you're somebody who's like, I'm trying to fix a particular condition and I want to try things, because I'm also the referral to the second person is I'm going to go to that second person because the filter is, if I don't need to go any further, I'm fine. I'm not going to go see them. But somebody who does show up to that second 60-40 person is probably more desperate, right? Probably needs it a little bit more. And so the 60-40 person is going to start bringing a little bit more of that woo into the situation, you know? And depending on what they then refer you to, if your needs continue to increase or demands, if you're in a situation that calls for it, that third person is 50-50 at best.
Yeah. So
and now we're just going downhill.
So here's
the crunch
where
zone.
I'm at. All right. Here's where I'm at, because I live in BC and BC is different. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the part where I'll just lean over and be like, we're cool with fluoride, right? And the person will go, yeah. And you go, okay.
Yeah.
And that just like, that just kind of just solves that shit.
Yeah.
Right away.
Sure. You know, I mean, there's things here. There's parts of town where it's like, oh, if you live in certain areas, you need to check out the lead numbers in the water, because some places are like still on old pipes, and it's not everywhere, But if you live in one of those areas, go look into it, right? And then you go, all right, here, we got the numbers. It says here this is no good. Therefore, yeah, get your fucking Brita filter, right? Do what you got to do. But just coming at it from the what I was just described of like, we're going to refer you, like getting a referral for a specialist or a doctor, but you're getting referred to a slightly more crunchy person. And before you know it, you're walking into a shaman's hut.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like there's, who knows how quickly we end up there, but it is at least 2 referrals away from the shaman's hut. And we're trying to do as much as we can to stay out of the shaman's hut.
Well, just don't go.
Yeah. So
just don't go see the shaman.
but we need the shaman's special blessings and incenses, though. You know, Mom needs them right now more than anything. Okay. What else happened? The entire process was one where I'm not sure if I mentioned it before or not, but like, you know, again, Punch Mom was super incredible with it. One of the things that happened was she got gestational diabetes. And so that was
gestational diabetes, brothers.
Yeah,
it's our fault.
Yeah, not proven.
We give our wives diabetes.
No, that's a little crunchy too.
No, it is.
I looked at how much the dad is to blame for the placenta, and it's like maybe, but maybe not. But give me that doubt. Give me that wiggle room.
Just fucking cope, Woolie.
How about you close that fucking Google window, you piece of shit?
Hell, what? You can see that? Oh wow, that's crazy.
You don't think I can see the light shine on your face as it gets a little bit brighter as you open up a fucking Google? You close that shit. Fuck off.
Some cope.
No, there's
some fucking cope. Dog.
No. There's certainly a decent chance.
Mr. Woolie the Sugars Madden could never have given his wife.
No, not at all. Me who just got the diabetes a year prior, that couldn't be me. What? Couldn't be me. Fuck out of here. That's all you. What you doing eating that chocolate, girl? That's your fault. Get your goddamn diet in order, bitch. What the fuck?
Oh, you're feeling real brave right now on the podcast, bro.
As I'm chowing down on cheesecakes, you know. So no. It's part of what happened, and the results of which were pretty tremendous, because it's like, okay, well now, especially if we're at a place where they're measuring in a more sharp way, we are going to implement like, hey, keep track of, they have a whole thing in place where like, yeah, keep track of your blood sugar multiple times a day, and if you feel spikes, go for a walk, all these little things, you know. And she fucking was amazing with that and just crushed it and did all those things. And of course, plus having the benefit of like, I'm like, oh, hey, look, we've got a whole bunch of spare Metamucil from my episode last year. I
gotta tell you, man, like you giving us that advice of like, yeah, just have a Metamucil, like dropped Paige's blood sugar like so effectively.
It's incredible.
It was the best piece of advice we got for the whole pregnancy.
That's awesome. I'm really happy. I'm really happy that happened, because it's great, right? Amongst all the other little tricks I learned, you know, getting through my own diabetic episode, that were just like, oh, we're ready for this. We've already got the blood, you know, monitor and all the little things, the cuffs ready to go, etc. So handling that, and then ultimately getting to the part where, Jesus Christ, Paige, wow, thank you. I'm super happy that was incredibly effective. That's fucking awesome.
I think that might be a little strong, but you definitely helped their health.
Yeah. That is pretty extreme. I'll take the dubs I can take right now, man. I got another couple weeks of no sleep coming up.
Yeah, hey Woolie, I told you this on the phone a little while ago, and I told you this over text, but I'll tell you here now. You're doing a good job. I can tell just by listening to you that you are doing a good job.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks. It's rough when it's rough.
Just don't fucking drop them and you're good. That's like seriously, like just don't drop them.
Yeah, I want to get back that power to make the crying stop, you know.
Oh,
I had it.
Stupid
I
fucking
had it.
bitch.
I had it.
You know how long that's gonna be?
I had it for 2 days.
Oh, dude, I barely have it back now.
It was so good. I tasted Elysium, Pat. I tasted the highs. It was so good. It's the greatest thing ever. And then it was gone. It's crazy. Do you understand how crazy it is to take away
no,
the highest high? Oh, man.
That
the
ambrosia
is
nearly exclusively mom's domain for a really
but it's
long
right
time.
there. Where are you going?
Okay, Paige and I had to have, I think we had this discussion.
It's the hands reaching out for the redstone of Asia in the fucking part 2 intro, you know?
I think that Paige and I had this conversation maybe 25 to 30 times where I would just get emotional and be like, my baby hates me. And she was like, no, you just don't have tits.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And like, that's all he's about.
Yeah.
And then she was like, your time will come in the toddler years. And that is starting to happen.
Sorry, what's
like the other day he got super mad, like super upset, and just started going da 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 over and over. And I had to cut a stream short. I had to run over because he wanted da da all of a sudden. It's like that was the only solution.
I realized that. And I think that if it takes years to get that feeling again, then so be it. Okay, now you've dangled it in front of me and you've showed it to me, and then into the distance it goes, and now I'm chasing it forever, right?
Oh yeah, no, continue to chase it. That's they tricked you, they manipulated you on purpose.
Oh, baby did its job. Baby came out and did its job immediately and gave me that.
You know what's the craziest thing? You know how like the most narcissistic thing you could ever hear from a parent is like, this baby manipulated me. How could they make me right? And then you have the baby and you're like, this baby is fucking with me, dude.
Yeah.
This baby's totally messing with me on purpose. Is the baby gaslighting me?
When you hear a cry and you're like, hold on, was that the pitch that goes into the really high pitch that you shouldn't be hearing? Was that one of those really, really bad pitches? Hold on a minute, get the fuck over here. Hey, you, what's going on? Baby's like, what's up?
Yeah, no, like, Woolie, you
did the pitch. You can't use that pitch.
This world right now is not even to be dad. Your purpose right now is to be mom's all-purpose roadie.
Right.
For anything she may or may not need.
There's some tricks that are surprisingly effective for random reasons, and I'm like, okay, this is where
you just say yes, dear.
Yeah, okay. Not against.
That's a good trick.
Not against.
That's a good one.
Not against the big baby. I mean, against the smaller one. No, there's a couple of different burping positions, you know, and I've kind of learned about, like, I'm like, oh, she hates this one. She hates the pickup, you know, for example. And I'm like, oh, uppies is going to be a problem for you, huh?
For me, the shoulder, like, dude, like a little bit on my shoulder was the one that he liked.
Okay. So what she likes is, it's so weirdly aggressive looking, but it's when you grab right here, you support like the jaw, and then you lean them forward, and then you while sitting, and you do the pat. But from the front, their face is all like, and she.
Oh, you're talking about the football.
And it's not football position. It's not football position. It's they're seated. God, let me just do it with this. Like,
doll.
So you put your fingers around the bottom of the jaw, or around the jawline like this, and then you seat them and lean them forward, and then you do this, right? And the gravity of leaning them forward works out. And for some reason, that makes whatever's going down, no matter how upset she is, she chills. She loves just doing that.
Yeah, you're gonna figure out all the cool tricks,
and
man.
I'm like, okay, we got one. All right, let's put that in the pocket. But okay, I got off topic. But what I was saying is that, like, with the gestational, So that was one of those things where, and it can go a lot worse in a lot of different ways. But in Punch Mom's case, yeah, a lot of stars aligned and things went out, and she was awesome at sticking with it. And so we fortunately were like, okay, cool. We're looking at a percentile size, which is good. And we're heading into a range where one of the things that, you know, of all the possibilities that come from having gestational, so it's like your placenta gets affected, and then of course you might get a big baby, and if you get a big baby, you might have to do an induction, or you might have to do a C-section and stuff like that. You know, so who knows? And so we kind of got to a point where the doctor was like, okay, cool, well, you're good to go up to, you know, sort of like that more or less that 40 limit or so, and then at which point yeah, we're gonna induce, because we don't want to push it past that, because this is just the smart thing to do with this type of
don't want to get too big baby.
Exactly. And then so we're like, okay, cool, that's good. Overall, you know, not like super anti-intervention or anything, let's go science, but in general you're like, but the things that hurt more, let's try to avoid those if we can, right? That's overall reasonable. And so with the induction stuff, we're like, we hope we can get something spontaneous kicking. But the the part where hospital was just like, okay, so we're just gonna need you to come in early, not because of anything going on, but simply because we don't have the slots.
Yeah, we're really busy.
We're just busy, guys. So life will have to start earlier because of bureaucracy, actually.
Well, like, I mean, I remember you telling me the dates, and then I remember you reaching out afterwards. I'm like, the timing seems to have gone smooth from what I can tell.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, but it was just quite a shock, because we were going into that going like, okay, well, we have this much time and we have this much prep and idea, while keeping in mind that there's a possibility we might have to jump in that car and get going any minute now. There was an idea of like, all right, well, either we'll start feeling it on our own and have that slow buildup of you know, feelings, contractions start, or we'll have a date that we know we're walking in there. And what we ended up getting was you know, calls and systems and Rolodexes and like, yeah, okay, we'll schedule you in. Can you come in tomorrow? No. Okay, well, how about maybe the day after? Like, it was just like, hey, slots are full, sorry. And like, it's just a wild thing to imagine that, like, you know, it wasn't any sort of miraculous, spontaneous moment of, oh, she was just ready. It was just like, nah, man, that's when they had the slots and the free room for it to go down, you know? And so yeah, went in and did that, and you know, I guess some of the only other thing I'll say is, over the course of, you know, going in and beginning this induction process and stuff, was how you know, we prep for the long haul and see how that's going to go, and everything went pretty much, you know, as we were told it would go. But there's one part of this chain where you're like, okay, here's the person of all these people coming in and out who this is probably our weak link, and here's the person that's responsible for administering the epidural, and that epidural is supposed to be doing way more than it's doing right now, and it ain't doing much. And then you're like, wait, can we see what's wrong here? Because, oh boy, it's coming on strong. That pain is shooting up to, are we in the category of the worst you've ever felt in your life? Yes. Okay, we're there. We're at the worst you've ever felt in your life. Can we get that epidural juice going? Can we get it going? It's going. Oh, is it? Then why is it not going? I don't know. Let's check it out. Maybe we do something else back here. Oh, this should be it. I think there's a problem back here. Let's fix that. All right, now it should be going. It's not going. And you're just like, can we get a professional in here, please?
We had a significantly more stressful birth story.
Yeah.
But not that part. That part's the sickest part of the birth story for us, because Paige was fucking flying with the dragon on fentanyl. She was having a great time once that shit went in.
Nah, man, it took like a third application for it to go.
Fuck,
and
dude.
You're like, what? Are you the student? Are you the like, what is happening with that? you know?
Bruh.
Yeah, and we're there, and like, it's one of those bits where it's just like, oh, what she's feeling right now, it's like, no, this shouldn't be happening. This should be way, way, way much more muted, and we should be able to get a little break before the pushing begins. And it was just like, nah, so that was shitty. That sucked.
Like, you don't want anyone to be a weak link, but that's a important weak link, man.
Yeah. And hold on a second.
Oh yeah.
And then the one other bit was like, while we're in there in the beginning, and one of the early nurses is coming in and reading the file out and stuff, and is like, okay, cool. And so you took care of this and you took care of that and all these little bits. The one person we had up front was kind of like, okay, so we're looking at your medical file and we have all these things here, and you had, any of these prescriptions and these things, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, cool. And so Miss Punchbomb, and so you also, or you earlier, you had the herpes treatment, right? And she's like, what? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, huh? And she's like, no. And he's like, no,
sir,
on your file here, we prescribed you the Valtrex, and that was the thing. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna chill here and we'll just see what's going on. There's no, and she's like, no, I don't think that's really a thing. I'm pretty sure that would have been. And there's that kind of that moment of like, and you're like, okay, is he? Now he's like confused, but he's going, okay, no, I think that was. He's like, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And then it's like, she's like, no, and then I'm like, okay, and you're like, is this a thing that you guys are supposed to have confidentiality about? And I'm here, and
like, was I supposed to leave the?
Was I supposed to leave the room before you did that? And then you did that, and is she now having a weird? Is this a life-changing moment of like, oh dear God, like what is going on? And
so, are you looking at the right file?
Nope, he was looking at the wrong file.
Oh my God! You can't do that shit! You can't do that!
He was looking, he mixed up the files, the room next to us. He just took the file from the room next to us and he started going down
You can't do that shit. You can't. That's not okay to do. That's not.
Yeah. And they're like, okay, cool. And he left. And we're just like, yo. Right? And it's like, oh, and I'm like, okay, so now you have, and I'm like, hey, look, hey, you see that? You see how I responded? You see how I responded there, right? Could you imagine? What if I just went, what if I blew up? Could you imagine?
Oh, what if you just totally crashed out in the delivery room?
Right?
Yeah.
Right? But you saw.
Just totally lost it.
But you saw I was chill, and I waited for the facts, and then to discuss what the fuck just happened there, right? Very, very, very much so.
So what you're saying is that during the single most stressful time in your wife's life, while she's giving birth to the new life for you, you were like, hey, how about we all sit around and pat me on the back for a second? Yeah.
Did you notice? Yeah. Did you notice how chill? Right? Because that's a watch.
Fucking stupid asshole.
And this was well before anything started. This was just the beginning of the day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We got in, sat down. They went over the file, and that came up, and we're just like, what has been happening? Yeah, what secret life has been going on? Oh, you just literally grabbed the wrong piece of paper. And then all of it.
But now you've got that shit in your head for the people next door.
And well, you've got that. You've got the fact that there's C-section twins going down not too far from us as well, right? And you're like, ooh, damn, okay, that's going down. Mm-hmm. But the fact that happened, right? And I'm then like, oh, this is why they have that thing where they're like, you can say, I want my baby to never leave my sight until we leave the hospital.
Oh, he never left our site.
You
Not
can
once.
you can check a box
Not
or
one
whatever
time.
for any reason to be like, no. There's no point at which there's ever going to be anyone. Yeah, you can lock on and stay locked on the entire time, and that is
Not once.
Yeah, that is an included part of what is part of the service there type of thing. And so
I did not close my eyes after the boy was out until Paige had slept, like gotten out off her epidural and was alert and awake, because there was going to be direct eye to baby contact.
Straight up.
The whole time between the both of us.
No.
Now, granted, I had a tiny little redheaded baby that looked just like me, so it was going to be pretty easy. But still,
we got you got the arm thing and the leg thing, but it doesn't matter. When fuck ups like that happen, you go, this is why we keep locked on the entire time, Z target all the way through till we're home. She popped out with a humongous head of hair, like huge head of hair. She's fully just, it's all there. There's very little else to do. It's kind of crazy. And it turns out, for some unknown reason, when kids have, like, the more hair they're born with, the more heartburn the mother experiences.
Absolutely, 100%.
And we don't know why, but it's just a correlated thing.
Yeah, that's an old wives' tale that is rock solid.
It's crazy, right? Like, it's crazy that it's real, but they don't know why yet. But apparently so. And she did have like, it's just weird. Anyway,
chemical.
Like acid reflux stuff. Anyway, so there was that part of it. It is
that's crazy.
It is, and it's also like, it is interesting how, I mean, effectively what the entire process of baby learning to exist is baby just doing random things until they work, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, to the point where
gotta learn how to poop.
Then the body goes, oh, this is what we're doing. And then in sleep, you can kind of see, like, you would feel the system warming up, right? The intestines and the lower and like the stomach and all of it figuring out how to process a thing and go like, get out of there. And all of it is just like, I'm flailing and doing random things, and like, hopefully one of these things is going to be successful and work. And that is pretty much how, like, life and things evolved in general, right? You do random shit until it works, and then you're like, oh, keep doing that thing. That seems to be going well. And
like, dude, tummy time is like, kids hate tummy time, but like, you want to get them so mad that they're like, what, this tummy shit to stop.
Right. And then they
like, that's the whole idea behind it.
And then they hulk out and do lifts. Yeah. And then they push up. Right. Exactly. And that whole thing is like, to the point where, it's like, I'm crying because I want the boob, and the boob is in my mouth, and the milk is already in my mouth, and all I have to do is swallow, but I'm so upset that I can't get past that part. And you're like, everything you want is right there.
Woolie.
Just
we've all been there. We've all been there.
You're all like, we've brought you all the way to the finish line. You're past it now, actually. You don't even have to, like, cross the finish line. You're already past it. Just lift your hand up.
Dude, I literally dealt with that like 2-3 days ago, where my little man was like, want fries, and I look over at him, and like, he's got his plate and his ketchup and his fries, and I'm like, you have fries, want fries, you brother. I literally said, brother, you have fries.
Yeah.
You have them.
Yeah, no give, only throw, right? That's it, But this entire process of you just flail, and then something works, and then they kind of clue in, and then they start doing it again. What is life if not for a giant lab?
Yeah.
And what is becoming a person if not just labbing everything until it works and then locking in the tech?
You have so I'm torn, Wooly, because on the one hand I'm like, that's really sweet, and on the other hand I'm like, you have a brain disease. That you are warped in a way I could not have anticipated.
Hey man, I saw a target, I shot for it. Yeah, you know, we have that on lock, and you know, at a point too, like heading back over to you know, see a nurse at the hospital and stuff, and pulling up to the parking, being like, as we get through the gates, being like, yeah, we're here to return a baby, and I'm like, okay, I'm working on my dad bits, and you know, tough crowd, but we
it doesn't play.
I enjoy my laughs. No, she laughed.
Yeah.
She laughed.
It doesn't. It doesn't like those guys. Because like, listen, those people hear that for real, which like you have to take that into account.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, that was it, and you know, the entire thing too of like, what's funny too about, I guess, some of that whole, you know, like labor process and everything was the
it was pretty funny. Huh?
It was there was funny, right?
Did they give you like a nice bed to sleep on?
Actually, so they had a couch that folds out to a flatbed, which was dope. But I didn't know how the back head part worked, so it was kind of worthless in the end. And
dude, that's really hard. That must have been tough.
Well, there was a problem. Now hold on. There was a problem where I was sitting on it and I was holding newborn, and then I leaned back to do some of the, you know, the skin to skin.
Yeah.
And then the part that separates has a big hole gap, and so I'm going into nothing. I'm sitting and leaning my back over air and fall with baby here, and that sucks. And I'm like, you know, fuck this chair forever then, right?
And I'm sure you actually discovered that your reflexes in vital situations are actually way better than you thought they were.
We are, visual calculus just went to 9, bro.
Like, it's like, you bust out a couple of the dad moves, and you're like, wow, this is some extra juice got rooted to this as soon as the baby showed up, because I was not this quick before.
Burp towels and things falling off of things, and I'm currently using feet and such to catch those. No baby saves yet, but I'm preparing for the potential. Because especially there's some of those, there's predictable thrashing, predictable pushing, and then every once in a while it just yeet. Right? Every once in a while, newborn is like, what happens if I throw myself as hard as I can back this way, and my center of gravity is actually my head, not my body? So even though you're securing my body, my head is really where it's all gonna go. So what if I did that though?
Like the baby is neck oriented. Like for maybe 8-9 months, I had that dude in like a back facing chokehold, like nearly every, like just the whole hand around the entire back of the head.
Yeah.
And then the other arm just like this.
Yeah.
But then you get really good at like the tuck. Just jam the baby in the crook of the arm and then just lock it in.
As long as head is in a safe direction, right?
That's what your shoulder's for, bud.
Oh, okay. You mean face down, like head turned and then body on this way.
Face up, neck on your shoulder.
Yes.
With the back of the head over the.
Yes. Okay. That. Okay. Right. Yeah. So no, I'm not Ultra Instinct yet, but like the first shine is starting to show, you know, a little bit. We'll see when a clutch save comes through. Yeah. I don't know. That's baby, man.
Are you ready to talk about one thing to everyone in your physical vicinity ad nauseum for like the rest of your life?
So not only am I super ready, but it's already begun, because the process of talking to people about the pregnancy even has elicited that. And I said before, you can tell which friends are like, oh yeah, okay, I've been through it too, here's my thing, or which friends are like, oh wow, I haven't been through it, but I care about you, and so we're going to be talking about this, and wow, that's nuts. And which ones are just like
my personal favorite, which is, whoa, that's crazy.
Did you see that Kamen Rider Skull is going to be in Super Robot Wars?
I did, yes. I did see that. And like I had a turning point on that where I was just like, am I talking about the baby too much? And then this is like on stream as well. And then I just like was like, well, it's only the single most interesting thing that's ever happened to me by multiple orders of magnitude.
But hey, man, no big deal. Of course. Yeah. So, you know, that's that. And the process is going to continue. And, you know, I guess eventually, I don't know, like there's all this stuff about like, hey, did you smell that new baby smell? That you know what they talk about? It's fucking cookies. And you know why? Because it's the Vernix. It's the cream cheese that they're
No, it's not. It's not. Okay. Like, yes, the Vernix, yeah, but like that new baby smell, our guy still has some of that new baby smell on him.
Okay.
Like you give him a big hug, you're like, oh yeah, that's my legacy right there. Oh, cutest guy in the world.
It smells like legacy. Jesus Christ. I feel
your kid will either stink or smell like crack.
So I don't think in our case that's what's going on, because the hat that they gave her right away, like with all that Vernix and shit, that hat still has that cookie smell way more than she does.
Yeah.
Right. So there is a difference for sure, you know. Yeah, you know, I mean, there's all the little things you look up and read about, and you know, cut the umbilical cord, etc. And then it's like, okay, and that's just gonna hang there, and then eventually it's gonna fuck off.
It's a little gross,
you know. But just there it is, and you're just like, oh man, that thing is kind of weird looking, and it's crusting up. And then there's points where I'm just like, God fucking damn it, can't I just pour the milk in here instead? Can I just pour it in here, and it'll be easier.
How that shit works.
It'll be easier to just get it in here, you know? Yeah. Anyways, that's you know, that's what's up. It's cool though to have the little like another thing was like, oh, you can do the finger in the mouth and like elicit like this trigger like sucking response, and then you know, kind of like you soothe a little bit, and that's good for giving them like a vitamin D drop or something. And then you can pull it out slowly, and then that'll increase their like force for like, okay, they're gonna suck harder, and then that's good for, you know, their ability to feed and stuff. And then but if you're dad doing that and you don't immediately follow it up with, again, the real milk, you're just making the problem worse, actually, because then you're just reminding them how useless you are. You know,
hey, wouldn't it be cool if you had some milk right now? I don't have any.
What use are you to me? What good are you? Fucking delete yourself, father. Away with you.
So I'm super interested in seeing you just crumble to the whims of a little girl.
Man,
see big, tough, smart Woolie just absolutely disintegrate.
It's over. It's done.
In front of I want it.
I have never been more cooked. There's no surviving. Like, you're like, yeah, okay, all right. What the fuck? Destroy everything. Burn it all down. Who do you need me to kill? Like, what are we doing here? Yeah. And here's the thing is too, is that like, now imagine trying to resist like those charms while sleep deprived and not in your right mind. It's like while you're extra not thinking straight, you know?
Well, luckily enough, you don't have to. Right now, yeah, give them everything they want. Only once they gain the ability to, you know, have brain thoughts do you have to actually deal with, nah, man.
Yeah.
Like, and here's the thing, depending on your personality, like, our little dude will like, hey, you can have a piece of a cookie, and he'll eat the cookie. He'll go, more, please. I'm like, no. Here come the tears. Here it comes. But like, it's really adorable because you get to see you're like, no, I'm not giving you a cookie. And then he'll turn to the other one.
Okay.
And point at me and go, Dad, and like, he's clearly talking shit.
Okay. So can I get real? Can I get real? Can I get super
Absolutely.
real? Can I get as real as it gets? Okay. Cause okay. So, when you're doing your ultrasounds and you're not sure how things are going to go, right? And everything's coming up and you're just like, listen, nobody likes to talk about it, but sometimes in life there are uggo fucking babies. Let's just be real. There are some babies that are ugly. And you're kind of like,
and they're just as deserving of love.
Beautiful little princes and princesses, all of them, right? But you're kind of like, but sometimes you're just like, oh boy, right? And I'm like, okay. So we talk, and we're just like, listen, there's a chance. You never know what's going to happen here, right? We just need to be prepared for what's going to happen.
Babies are squishy when they get born naturally. And sometimes they get a little football headed.
And look, it might even be one of these things where it's like, and if that goes on to be like, uggo baby into uggo person or whatever, okay, well then, hey, they'll have a great sense of humor, and then we'll just work on every other thing in life and it'll be fine, right? No problems there or whatever, it'll be good. And you know what, quite frankly, if you're too attractive, life gets too easy anyways, and then people start manipulating you, and it's a whole other slew of problems. So who knows, right? Let's just preemptively just be like, yeah, we don't know what we'll get, but we know that's a possibility. She's fucking gorgeous. She's perfection. She's the cutest shit ever, and it's a problem. Like, she's so, like, the features are like the cheek and the everything, and you're like, yeah, fuck those uggo babies. That ain't my problem.
Okay.
We are way past that point.
Okay, so
she is cruising.
Okay, so here's the danger.
A
right?
mixed goddess approaches.
Okay, here's the danger, right? Okay. You and I earlier are under duress from an onslaught, like the most amount of chemicals your body will ever throw in your life. You are the most diminished in capacity ever. However, what you will do over the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years is what Paige and I have done, is we keep all the photos and go, no, we were right. No, we were dead on. Cutest baby ever. No, I'm not looking back on these oxytocin and going, no, rock solid, cutest baby ever seen.
Yeah.
When our little dude came out via C-section, the operating room went, oh.
Yeah. No, and then that's it, right? And then eventually at some point they join, the class and all the others, and you just kind of look around and you're like, yeah, all right, no, just making sure.
I'm
like,
glad,
no.
I'm glad. I didn't know if your personality was like this, because everybody's different, right? Because when you become a parent, you are about to embark on a two-pronged journey. Journey one is judging other parents like you wouldn't fucking believe. Like the self-righteousness and the oh my God, can you believe, and with your wife, like, because you're a team, you're on the united front, but can you believe the Johnsons? Holy shit. But that's like the little tiny version. No, the real version is judgment of other people's shitty children who aren't shit compared to your perfect angel. Those other kids, oh my God.
No, I was like
pathetic loser children, really.
I was preemptively huffing some copium that I did not need to, because it's done and done. She's untouchable. That's the end of that. No, punch kid forever, punch girl forever. Speaking of huffing copium, actually, it's kind of funny because I was wondering, I was like, what are the different levels of escalation for pain management we're going to get to here? Because, if we're getting to that good shit, right? If we need to, I know that's on the table. And what they actually went to once, especially when fucking, our epidural master was crushing it, the greatest anesthesiologist in the world, they were like, hey, do you want to get some of that laughing gas? And it was like, fucking whatever, man. Yeah. And out comes the laughing gas, and it's like, oh, whatever works. You know, and
have you had the nitrous?
no, I haven't, but wow, what a device.
And Paige is also, I don't think it was I don't know if it was for the pregnancy. I think it might have been for a different like check, but they gave her the gas. Gas is all right.
Yeah.
The gas is
okay,
all right.
Okay. Yeah, no, I've never, you know. I know that, like, you know, she was kind of saying
it's a really strange form of pain management because none of the pain goes away. You just cease giving a shit.
Right, okay. It, like, I think it was a little too dizzying though, and that's the part that I think she didn't like, but like overall, yeah, apparently it does work as an amazing distraction. And you just have the thing and it makes a noise and all of that stuff, you know.